Hello student, I am your EPD ma'am. Today we are going to discuss our next chapter, Forest, our lifeline. And today we are going to discuss the first part of our chapter, that means forest, its characteristics and its importance. Okay, now let's start our discussion. Now what is forest? Now forest is an ecosystem having the biotic and abiotic components. Now what do you mean by biotic and abiotic components? Now biotic components are the living components of the ecosystem. Now in case of forest, the living systems are different types of animals, plants, microorganisms. These are the biotic factor. And what's about the abiotic factor? Abiotic factors are the natural non-living things, that means sunlight, wind, water, soil, these are the abiotic factors. Now ecosystem is actually the interaction between these biotic and the abiotic components. Okay, now the next point is that it's a large uncultivated green land. That means forest is a natural component, it grows naturally, no one cultivate it. Okay, and the next one, it's very dense, dark, noise free and peaceful area due to presence of very tall trees into the forest. The sun cannot penetrate into the forest floors, so which gives the dense, dark appearance. Okay, now the next is it consists of numerous amount of trees, animals. Okay, and that's why we can consider the forest as the house of the living things or the habitat of the living things. Okay, now the next is it's rich with organic matter. Now as the numerous animals, plants are present, whenever they died, the dead parts of the plants or the animals and the feces or the twigs all are present into the forest floor or the soil. Okay, and in the soil there are several types of microorganisms, and they actually break down this dead and decaying matter and recycle the nutrients which are important for our survival. What are they? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Okay, now this process is known as the decomposition. Okay, now these dead and decaying matter are the organic matter. Now the next, there is a profuse amount of rainfall into the forest. Okay, and the most important phenomena is the alarming phenomena, and it's very common and natural in case of forest ecosystem. Okay, now let's elaborately discuss this point. The first one is the appearance of the forest or the stratification of the forest. Now if we see the forest, there are different types of plants having different height, and their arrangement into the forest is also different, and that's why we can divide the forest into several layers, and each and every layer is known as the stratum, and this arrangement is known as the stratification. Now see which type of layers are present. The uppermost layer is the emergent layer or the emergent tree. Next one is the canopy. Third one, subcanopy, then understory, then shrub layer, then forest floor, and last one is the soil. Now start with the emergent tree. Now this is the topmost layer, and here the highest tall tree is present, and its height is about 80 to 90 meter. Okay, and next one is the canopy. Now see here, this whole portion is the canopy layer, and in this layer the trees are present in a very dense form, and they are tall, having about the height 50 to 60 meter. Okay, and as they are very branched, they cover whole the roof of the forest, and thus the sunlight cannot penetrate the forest clearly, and which gives the dense appearance of the forest. Okay, now the next layer is the sub canopy layer, is the just beneath the canopy layer, and here the plants having the shorter height than the canopy layer. And next the understory layer. Now here the growing trees, okay, the saplings that are present, and as the sunlight is not penetrate the canopy very clearly, that's why in that layer the trees cannot get the sunlight as they required. So in that layer the trees are surviving, having very low amount of sunlight are survived. Okay, now the next is the shrub layer. Now here the shrubs are present, and their height is about 1 to 5 meter, and next the herbs layer, and then the forest floor. Now this forest floor is the house of the decomposition. Here all the microorganisms that are involved in the decomposition and the nutrient recycling are present. Okay, now this is all about the stratification of the forest. Okay, now this is the elaboration, go through it. Next principle is the alarming principle, and it's very natural and common in case of forest. Now see here, in the forest there are different types of animals, and these animals actually show cooperation among themselves. How? Let's take an example. Now see here, here is a monkey. Whenever they find out any danger like eagle or leopard, they produce a alarming call, or they produce a special type of sound that alert its own group as well as the other herbivores and also the birds. See here, when the monkey find out the leopard, they climb up into the trees and shiver the branches of the tree, and that's why the birds are alerted, and they start to fluttering and emit the noises. So a chaotic situation is formed, okay, and which alert all the herbivores or the animals that get damaged by the leopard are alert. Okay, now this phenomena is known as the alarming principle. Okay, now the next, the importance of the forest, and the first importance is that it's the house of the living organisms. So it's the habitat. Habitat means house. Okay, now forest contains many type of trees, and many animals are depends upon the trees or plants for their food, shelter and other things, for their reproduction and all those things. So it's the habitat or the house. Okay, now the next importance is that the balancing of oxygen and CO2 into the atmosphere. Let's see how. Now plants take the sunlight, okay, and also the carbon dioxide present into the atmosphere. Now source of the carbon dioxide from the animals and other burning processes by the humans. Okay, all those sources emit a huge amount of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Now during the photosynthesis, the plants actually take the sunlight and the carbon dioxide and the water and produce the food, that means the glucose, and the byproduct of this photosynthesis is actually the oxygen. Now this oxygen is released into the atmosphere, and all the living organisms, all the animals takes this oxygen molecule and then used it for the energy production by the means of respiration. And as a byproduct of respiration, the carbon dioxide is formed, and this carbon dioxide is harmful for each and every living organisms. That's why they release it again into the atmosphere, and again the plant take it during the photosynthesis. So it's a cycle. How? The carbon dioxide is released by the animals or other sources, and then the plants take it for food production by the photosynthesis, and they release the oxygen, and this oxygen is again taken by the animals for the energy production by the respiration. Again they release the carbon dioxide. So in that way the forest or the plant help in the balancing the O2 and CO2 level into the atmosphere. Okay. Now the next importance is the maintenance of food chain and the food web. Now what is food chain? Now food chain is a sequence of animals where, or sequence of living organism where each and every living organism is depends upon each other for their food source. Okay. Now see, take an example. See here, the first one is the producer, that means the green plants. Now green plants produce the food, that means the glucose, with the help of sunlight, carbon dioxide and water molecules in the process of photosynthesis. And after that, the next one, the primary consumer or herbivores consume this food produced by the plants. Okay. And after that, the secondary consumer, that means the carnivores, consume the primary consumer. So the food produced by the plant is transferred to the primary consumer. Then from the primary consumer, this energy is transferred to the secondary consumer. Okay. Now this is a chain work. In this way, the food energy is transferred from the producer to the secondary or the climax consumer. Okay. Now this is known as the food chain. Now what is food web? Now food web is a network where more than one food chain is involved. Now see here, the rabbit is also consumed by the hawk. Okay. And also this hawk consume the mouse. Okay. Now this is involved 3 food chain, and that's why it's form a network which is known as the food web. But all the things, that means producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer or the climax consumer, all have a common destination. What is that? Now when the producer or primary or secondary consumer are died, these dead and decaying matter are mixed up with the soil, and then the decomposer, that means fungi and bacteria, decomposed or break down this organic matter and release the carbon, hydrogen, oxygen molecules into the atmosphere, and this is known as the decomposition. And these carbon, hydrogen, oxygen are also used or recycled for the formation of new individual. In this way, all the energy or all the components which are important for the survival of our are recycled into the nature or the atmosphere. Okay. So this is the elaboration. Now the next importance is that water cycle, maintenance of the water cycle. Now what is the role of the forest? Now as you know, the forest release the excess water into the form of water vapor into the atmosphere. Okay, now this process is known as the transpiration. Now along with this transpiration there is evaporation, and here also the evaporation. Now these three processes actually release the water vapor into the atmosphere, and after that this water vapor and other particles, solid particles, mix up and condensed and form the cloud, and after that it leads to the precipitation or rainfalling, and after rainfalling the water molecules are get infiltrated by the soil, and it's recharge our groundwater table. Okay, that means there is a storage table of the water under the ground, which is known as the groundwater, and this rainfall actually recharge our groundwater. And not only the recharging of the groundwater, it's fill up the rivers and other the water bodies, and also it's absorbed by the root system of the plants and used for their survival. And again the evaporation, transpiration, condensation, precipitation, infiltration, recharging. So in this way the whole cycle is recycled or continue, and in this way the forest play a important role in the water cycle. Okay. Now next importance is that it prevents the soil erosion and flood. Now see here, this is the root system inside the soil. Now see here, all the roots or the branches of the root form a network in which they actually tightly packed with the soil particles or adhere the soil particles tightly, and that's why it's prevent the erosion of the soil. So whenever we cut down the trees, the soil erosion increase. Okay, in this way, with the help of root system, soil actually prevent the soil erosion and also the flood. Okay. Now the next importance is the improvement of the air quality. Now how? Actually plants absorb the pollutants. Now see here, the PM, particulate matter, and also the harmful gases are deposited or absorbed by the plant parts, and that's why the air quality gradually improve, and whereas it's also release the pollen and other useful things into the air, which increase the air quality. Okay, in this way the forest actually maintain the air quality. Okay. Now the next importance is that it's the resource of food and also some economic products, like there is many wooden products, okay, and honey, wax, timber, and resin, medicines. There are several medicinal plant. Okay, so it's a resource. Now see here, now the next and last one is the, we can consider that forest is a dynamic thing. Why it's a dynamic? Now whenever the living things are died or they release their excretory materials or their any animal products, it's released into the atmosphere or the soil. okay, and it is used again by the nature for growing of new things. How? See the cycle. Now see here, the conifer trees actually produce huge amount of seeds in every year, and after dispersion of the seed, new saplings are formed, and that turns into the huge number of trees, okay. And after that, whenever they died or they fall their leaves or any other things, it's decomposed by the decomposer, and the nutrient are recycled again into the atmosphere, and it's used for the production of new living things. So it's a dynamic entity. At the end, new living things are formed, and another end they again died. So it's a dynamic entity, and this changing process with time is known as the succession. So this is all about your forest, our lifeline, the first part of your chapter. Thank you.